The USA have a population 325.7 million, which isn't a huge number. As a result, there are many people suffering from obesity and diabetes. We will discuss these two problems in details, including causes, effects, statistics, government efforts, cost, and prevention. There are many reasons can cause obesity, such as genes, like the family background, some medications open the appetite so it causes obesity, and unhealthy lifestyle, like eating junk food, lack of exercises, and the addictive of alcohol, smoking, and drugs. There are many reasons can lead to diabetes, such as insulin resistance, genes and family history, some medications, and the major one is obesity. Obesity have a negative impact on the body because it's caused some health issues like hypertension, cardiovascular diseases, sleep apnea which causes stop breathing for a brief period, and cancer. Also, diabetes harms the body because it's caused heart and blood vessel diseases like heart attack, stroke, eye damage, foot damage, kidney damage, and more. A statistic says that more than 2 in 3 adults were considered to be overweight or have obesity in the US, and almost 90% of people living with diabetes are obese or overweight.
The two biggest issues that the United States is facing are obesity and diabetes, and these two problems are weakening the United States' health, decrease their capacity, and pressure their economic security. So the government is doing many strategies to stop these problems. Obesity issue is becoming a serious health problem in the United States. Around 35% of the American citizens are having an obesity problem. United States government is doing many strategies to stop children obesity. First strategy is providing healthy meals to the children in the schools that will let many of the children lose weight and be healthier. Second strategy is providing PE programs in the school, which will provide the physical activity at the recommended levels. And America recommends for the primary school students to do 150 minutes in the week. Third strategy is drinking a lot of water. Water is the most important thing that the body needs, so the children should drink a lot of water to be healthy and avoid obesity. Also, United States government is doing many strategies to stop obesity in the community. First strategy is the complete streets, which are safer for doing exercises, so doing these streets will give the people a safe place for walking and biking, so they will have a healthier life with no diseases. Second strategy is providing PE programs in the school, which will provide the physical activity at the recommended levels. And America recommends for the primary school students to do 150 minutes in the week. Third strategy is putting menu labels that include all the added on the food, like added sugar and fat. That will let the people know how many calories are in this food, and this will lead the people to choose the food that has fewer amount of calories. Obesity can lead to diabetes because obese people are having more fat around their belly, and this fat called visceral fat. Insulin resistance is happening because of the visceral fat, which is happening when the muscle cells are resisting the insulin, which leads to high blood sugar levels. Diabetes issue is one of the biggest health issues in the United States. More than 100 million adults in the United States are living with diabetes. United States government is doing many strategies to stop diabetes. First, supporting those who provide healthcare to the communities who hit by diabetes. To enhance the programs who are working on supporting the children and teenagers who are at risk of having diabetes.
Obesity and its associated diseases such as diabetes have a serious economic impact to the country. Diabetes imposes a high financial burden, especially with a high population in a country such as the United States, where 29.1 million people diagnosed with diabetes. The health and economic impact of obesity was 13.4 in 1962, and this increased by 22.9 in 1994. While in 2014, the medical and economic cost reached 36.4, which is $1.42 trillion. In 2016, $480.7 billion was the direct health cost for chronic diseases driven by the obesity, and of course diabetes considered one of them. Direct health cost refers to direct medical cost, which is cost of medication and treatment and healthcare intervention, such as ambulatory and nursing care, as well as cost of equipment used to provide services. In addition, $1.24 trillion was the indirect medical cost for obesity and its associated diseases. Indirect medical cost refers to losses in daily activity or work absences due to illnesses or inability to engage, so it considered as a productivity loss. In the United States, 40% or more than 100 billion adults are suffering from diabetes. In 2017, the US spent $327 billion for diabetic people. Obesity is a complex problem. There is no single or specific solution to the obesity epidemic. There are multifaceted approaches and steps people can take to prevent this health issue. So first of all, creating a supportive environment to promote health and prevent diseases in general is the best first step. There are common risk factors underlie the obesity and diabetes. These risk factors explain the vast majority of obesity and diabetes deaths at all ages. They include unhealthy diet, lack of physical activity, and lifestyle. For this reason, people should be aware enough about diabetes and obesity risk factors. They should be encouraged to prevent it by controlling their blood pressure, limit alcohol, quit smoking, avoid cardiovascular diseases, limit processed food, and of course visiting the doctor for regular checkups. Diabetes type 2 has several causes. Lifestyle is the most important factor, but diabetes can be hereditary also. People who have genetic mutation that makes them at a higher risk to develop diabetes can reduce the risk by being physically fit and eating well by having a healthy meal planning. People should be aware enough that diabetes is closely correlated with obesity. That's why they should eat wisely by increasing the fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, and they should drink enough amount of water. In addition to that, they should control the amount of fat consumed, especially saturated fat, and they should also be physically active. As nearly 1 in 4 children are overweight or have obesity. Being overweight puts the children at a higher risk to suffer from diabetes type 2, which is normally an adult once disease. It's easier to influence children's food and physical activity when they are young, so working on children and letting them know clearly what are the risk factors could be a great step. Government and public faculty system could make a real difference in developing healthful food and activity environments that advantage people. They can build more parks, more sidewalks, and bike lanes, which will probably benefit the overall health of people, and it will probably decrease the economic cost of obesity and diabetes. So in general, people should be physically active and eat wisely and control sugar and fat consumed, because having more fat contributes the body cells to lose sensitivity to the insulin, which leads to diabetes type 2. Another important step for smokers is to quit smoking and begin a healthier lifestyle. Finally, people should start with changing their thinking and behavior. They should believe that maintaining their weight and being active is a permanent commitment.